What if the EFF and the MK party joined forces and actually won the national elections? Just imagine that for a second. Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma, side by side, two of the most radical political forces in South Africa, now leading the country together. This new alliance would campaign on a promise of total transformation, land to the people, nationalization of key industries, and a complete break from Western influence. And in this scenario, the people buy into it. Millions of youth, unemployed graduates, rural voters, and disillusioned citizens give them a majority at the polls. Just like that, a revolutionary government takes over. The first few months would be intense. Land expropriation without compensation becomes a reality. Commercial farms and unoccupied land are seized and redistributed. The Reserve Bank taken under full state control. Major private banks get warnings, comply with new rules or risk being taken over. Foreign-owned mines are pushed to give up majority control to the state. New laws are passed quickly. There's a rise in state ownership, new taxes on the rich, and massive recruitment into public works programs, building roads, schools, clinics. On the surface, it feels like change is finally here. In some communities, it feels like justice, but in others, it sparks fear and panic. The markets crash. The rand takes a huge dive. Wealthy families start moving money offshore fast. There's a spike in immigration, not just the rich, but skilled professionals, doctors, engineers, teachers. Public institutions start shifting. Merit gives way to loyalty. Universities are told to decolonize their curriculums even further. The media comes under pressure, with journalists facing regulation and some being labeled as agents of counter-revolution. A new Ministry of Revolutionary Transformation is formed, and it doesn't answer to Parliament. It answers directly to the presidency. Life on the ground changes. In townships, you might see free electricity rollouts, grant increases, and major job creation programs. But in cities, you'd see shops closing, fuel shortages, and rising food prices. State-run farms struggle to keep up with demand. Load shedding becomes more unpredictable, and the data around it stops being published. New revolutionary courts start prosecuting corrupt politicians, but soon they're used to silence critics too. A climate of fear starts to creep in, especially among those seen as opposing the people's agenda. Internationally, South Africa becomes a controversial figure. Western nations withdraw aid, impose travel bans, and cut trade agreements. The country is kicked out of AGOA, hurting exports badly. But on the flip side, Russia, China, Iran, and other BRICS Plus partners come closer. They offer deals, loans, and alternative trade routes. South Africa pulls out of the ICC and fully aligns with countries seen as anti-imperialist. It becomes a symbol of African defiance and a red flag for investors. Culturally, the country shifts too. Statues of struggle heroes replace colonial figures. Schools are renamed. A new national identity is pushed. Pan-African, militant, proud, but also increasingly authoritarian. The LGBTQ+ community, opposition voices, and independent institutions feel the pressure, not always officially targeted, but sidelined, underfunded, or quietly threatened. Years later, the country looks totally different. There are fewer billionaires, but there's also no middle class. The economy becomes state-driven. Crime drops in certain areas under heavy security, but corruption creeps back in through party structures, and slowly, even the revolutionary leaders start fighting among themselves. What started as liberation becomes complicated. Some call it progress, others call it disaster, and the truth might be somewhere in between. So, what if the EFF and MK party did win and take over South Africa? It would be bold, it would be disruptive, but whether it would work or destroy everything, that is up to the people to decide. What's your take? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more what if stories from Mzansi's own political universe.